Okay, so hi everyone. So today we are going to represent the Iowa liquor sales, and it's represented by me, Abby, Maria, and Brandon. Even though he's not in here, but the topics we would like to share is the relationship between Iowa liquor sales and the major holiday or event. We are picking the college football season as our major research object. So let's hear Abby's further answers.
So, going off of our main question of interest about college campuses, the college school year, and college football season, we had a few other questions that we looked at but decided not to explore. The first one was if people tend to buy more liquor around the holidays. This was something that the website Kaggle, where we got our raw data from, said that you could explore with the data, but we decided not to explore that. We wanted to go something we could relate to a little more. The second question we came up with was how much profit does liquor stores in Iowa make on average per year? This was something that would have been really easy to come up with, so we wanted to go a little more in depth and have a relationship between a couple factors. So we did not explore this one. The third question we came up with was what stores sell the most liquor in Iowa? Why are they so popular? How much do they make in profit compared to other sellers in the area? Again, this was something we could have looked at, but we decided not to because we wanted to relate it back to ourselves being in college. The fourth question we wanted to look at potentially was the most popular liquor to buy in Iowa. And then the last two questions, question number 5 and 6, we put together for our main question of interest because we wanted to look at college campuses in each county as well as the college football season.
So, our research abstract proposal and data exploration summary are sort of going to be talked about together. And since a lot of the data exploration is also explained in the research abstract proposal, we're just going to stick on this page. So, first, we sort of talk about how our data was cleaned. We ended up getting rid of a lot of variables that were unnecessary for this category or for this research question, such as store number, address, store location, and then all the rest of them in that list, and a few others such as longitude and latitude, which we later regretted when we learned in week 7 how to do graphs with longitude and latitude that looked like a map. But either way, we thought that county would be a sufficient variable to use, and it did. It just would have been cool to have that visual option as well. But either way, so our data was cleaned, and then we had to separate certain categories and move things around so that way we could use it more easily for football season. And our other question of just college campuses as well. Another thing that we did for our data set was trim it down. There's originally upwards of 12.5 million data points, and so we decided to cut it down to 50,000 to make it easier to use, as well as just keeping it still big enough to get an accurate depiction of what it would look like. Our goal overall was to be able to present the answers to our questions clearly, which were, about the college football and stuff, which we talk about, and to just make sure that we had enough graphs and data to make sure to be able to be presenting an accurate picture of it as well, which we will see some of these graphs right now.
So let's take a look at this graph. The independent variables are the counties, and the dependent variables is the sale of liquors. The reason for choosing these two as our variables is we want to know the amounts of liquors each county purchased. However, based on the first graph, we cannot tell anything by just seeing the graph because the x variables is so messy and the name of counties are overlapped. So to make a better version of the graph, we just switch the x-axis and the y-axis to make the graph look clean and easy to see the name of counties and every variables. So the Polk counties has the most consumptions, and we want to figure out if there is a university campus around the areas will cause an increase in the liquor consumption. And also, is the homecoming week for the university will have certain effects on the liquor consumption. The variable will help us to find out the answers.
So going off of that, we wanted to look at the liquor sales in and around college counties where colleges are located at. So at first we wanted to just look at counties where more than 250,000 sales were at, and we did not take population into account in this one. So Dubuque County is the only one in this list that has a college in it, and it is very low on the scale. So far, our hypothesis of liquor sales increasing around colleges and college football season is not proving to be true. We then wanted to look at the liquor sales per person by county and take into account the population within those counties. And Des Moines County is, again, the only one with a college campus in it, and it is still very low on the scale. So this has proved that college campuses do not make a difference in sales per person or sales overall in each county. We also wanted to look at liquor sales during football season. So these were the overall sales during football season as a whole. And as you can see, the away and the home football games are little to none. And the days where there were no games, there were a lot of sales. So judging by this graph, the sales do not increase around college football season. The next graph we wanted to look at went a little more in depth, and we accounted the different number of days in each category to adjust them so the scale didn't look super off. And when we adjusted for the amount of days, as you can see, away games, more people bought liquor than they did during home games, which was a little surprising. But still, during the days where there were no games, the sales were much, much higher. So this, again, proves the opposite of what we were thinking about the college football season bringing in more liquor sales.
So clearly our hypotheses were wrong about liquor sales in colleges increasing them. So we wanted to think a little bit about where we went wrong and sort of write about that. So that is what this is. So one thing that we definitely forgot to think about was beer. Beer is not a liquor, and so it wouldn't be included in any of this. And beer is what a lot of college students drink because it is cheaper, and liquor is usually more expensive. And so we then sort of wondered, what is the main thing that is the purpose of why people buy alcohol? And so we made this CART model, and the CART model sort of said it was a volume of liquor and the bottle volume. It's really based on how much you can get for however cheaply you can get it. And so that was what we discovered. And that it doesn't really matter location wise whether there's schools or not around it. It just matters how much and how many people around the area want to drink and what they can afford. So that was sort of what our project ended up concluding. If you have any questions, please just let us know, and thank you for listening.